Hello and welcome to the award-winning Waterman Wellness, your pathway to health and wellness with local experts as your guides. I'm Melissa Huritzik. We have a lot in store for you in this episode to start off the new year, including how much is too much? A local expert shares the maximum amount of screen time that is healthy for children. You'll find out how a local rehabilitation center incorporates pool time to help get their patients back on their feet. And a Leesburg man credits a local emergency department with identifying a life-threatening disease he says was overlooked for years. We begin with a focus on heart disease dangers and how symptoms may sometimes point to something else. Experts say men and women may exhibit different symptoms, which can further delay diagnosis.
I have for a long time been complaining of acid reflux, GERD, and my primary physician has been treating me. I went to my doctor and how are you doing? I'm still got this GERD going on here. And he said, let's do a coronary CT scan.
The CT scan showed blockages in Philip's arteries. Before she could have a scheduled heart catheter procedure, Philip had an episode that sent her to the emergency department.
We do the heart cath, and when I wake up, to my recollection, Dr. Allen is standing there. And he said, we couldn't do any kind of stents or balloons, he said, because your arteries are so clogged. He said, you need a triple bypass. So I went from GERD to a triple bypass.
Cardiothoracic surgeon Gary Allen performed off-pump or beating heart open heart surgery on Philip.
It allows us a lot of advantage. When I say us, it's really the patient, frankly. It leads to reduced blood transfusions, problems with stroke, faster hospitalizations, reduced risk of things like breathing problems afterwards and rhythm problems. We really enjoy the benefits of the recovery of those patients. So with regards to bypass surgery patients, our intent to treat is always with beating heart surgery because we feel like that is the best tool in the toolbox.
Dr. Allen told me symptoms for women of heart disease and heart attacks are different than symptoms for men. I didn't know that. I had little sharp shooting pains up in here and pain between my shoulder blades. I thought it was GERD because I would burp a lot. Men's symptoms, the chest grab and the tingling down the arm. Women don't have those symptoms.
As the primary caregiver for her 7-year-old grandson, Philip is relieved with her post-procedure prognosis.
I could have dropped dead in front of my grandson. And that's very scary. But thanks to Dr. Allen, he said to me, here's what you have going for you. He said, you didn't have a heart attack. He said, your heart muscle will go another 30 years. Well, I'm already 69, so I'm thinking, oh boy, I'll be here around until I'm 100.
To learn more about the advanced cardiac treatments available in Lake County, visit fhwatermanheart.com. Next, a Leesburg man is crediting a local hospital's emergency department with a critical diagnosis and life-saving treatment.
I had headaches for about 5 years, and I just, I figured it was just stress-related. I was working through my primary care physician, trying to get an appointment. Well, while I was trying to park the car and find a place to park, I had a seizure that disoriented me and had no idea where I was. And that's when a nurse had found me, sat me down, and then called for an ambulance to get me over to Waterman. Once they started loading me up in the ambulance, I was out. And then I don't remember anything until waking up.
When patients come into the emergency department and they are in their greatest time of need, obviously they don't plan for it. And so our role is to expect the unexpected, to allow ourselves to realize that variability is going to happen. So the more we can plus up on our staff, whether it be emergency department, physician staff, nursing staff, ancillary staff, the better equipped we are to handle emergencies.
They did an extensive search to find exactly what was wrong with me. Well, I was told by my surgeon, you have a cancer, it is a tumor, and we won't know whether it's malignant or whether it's benign until we actually go in to remove it.
Glass chose to undergo chemotherapy and radiation treatment at Florida Hospital Waterman.
I want people to know that your cancer is your cancer. Don't take everything you read on the internet for what it is. You talk to your doctor, you talk to your surgeon, you stick with your oncology team, you stick with your radiation team, and you ask questions to understand what's going on. You know, somebody else's outcome isn't going to be my outcome, and mine won't be theirs. I have to deal with it, but you know what? I got a team behind me that won't quit. I have a cancer institute that will not quit. And that gives you faith and it gives you courage.
Glass says he does have a message for the woman who found him in the parking lot.
So thank you for saving my life, because you found me at the right place. You got me to the right hospital and the right cancer institute to find out what this complete problem was.
Next, we turn our attention to prostate cancer, one of the most treatable cancers if diagnosed early. Experts say nearly 100% of men treated when the cancer is only in the prostate will be disease-free after 5 years. Stephen Burnett of Tavares began his journey to battle prostate cancer last May after his general practitioner gave him a simple blood test. After talking to a number of specialists and hospitals across Florida, Burnett enlisted Lake County radiation oncologist Anud Jain to treat the disease.
His big plan always was to do the first 5 weeks of radiation therapy followed by the brachytherapy. And the brachytherapy is a surgical effort of inserting radioactive seeds for just a few hours.
Burnett benefited from new technology for the first part of his radiation therapy.
That plan worked out really well as the Florida Hospital new TrueBeam came online the first week that I started my treatment. So I was one of the first to use the new TrueBeam.
With radiation therapy, we're always targeting tumor tissues and areas at risk and always trying to protect normal tissues. With some of the features with the machine and the increased dose rate, many of our treatments can be delivered in a shorter time period than previously. When we're able to minimize the dose to those tissues with more accurate treatment like we can with the TrueBeam, patients can experience less quantity and less severity of those side effects and ultimately retain better quality of life.
After several weeks of treatment with the TrueBeam, Burnett had the brachytherapy procedure to insert radiation seeds near the cancer's location.
And they were only in there for about an hour. It's done under total anesthesia for the insertion of the catheters, and then the seeds are placed through the catheters over here in the radiology, and then they're removed an hour later. Very high dose radiation, and it must have done the trick. So the first follow-up after the brachytherapy showed the PSA as non-detectable. I can't imagine any place being any better. It was in and out, on schedule. That was fantastic.
Visit fhwatermancancer.com to learn more about the extensive resources available for cancer patients locally. It's time to take a short break, but we'll have plenty more when Waterman Wellness continues. After foot surgery, this Lake County woman was sent to the pool by her doctor. You'll find out why. If you have children, you'll want to stay tuned. A local pediatrician explains how much screen time is appropriate and why. And we'll visit the Conry Creation Health Center kitchen for a recipe to help you stick to resolutions to eat healthier. You'll find additional health and wellness information in Waterman Wellness magazine. Visit watermanwellness.com to arrange for home delivery, and you'll also find a listing of the specialists featured in this month's episode. You might want to check out these upcoming community events. Don't go away. Waterman Wellness will be right back. Studies suggest 1/3 of all cancer deaths are related to diet and obesity. Today, reduce this risk by eating more fruits and vegetables. Welcome back to the award-winning Waterman Wellness, your pathway to healthy living with help from local experts. I'm Melissa Hritzik. Rehabilitation can play an important role in a patient's recovery after a procedure. However, some patients may need specialized therapy when they need to avoid putting stress on the injury or wound.
For almost 5 months, I had walked on a knee walker with one leg, and I hadn't used my left leg. I had surgery on my foot and was not allowed to ever put any pressure for walking. And I could not bend my toes or my foot.
Peggy McLaughlin's doctor recommended that the Tavares woman get therapy in a swimming pool.
There are a variety of conditions that will benefit from using aquatic therapy, from orthopedics to general deconditioning. The Florida Hospital Waterman does have an indoor rehab pool designed for use of therapy. And in our pool, it is always a one-on-one situation. There's one therapist, one patient. They may specifically want their patient to be unweighted, so we can decrease the compressive force of gravity on all their joints. That allows them to normalize their walking pattern. It allows them to move their upper extremity, lower extremity, move their trunk through the water without the force of gravity.
When you haven't used it, it becomes very hard and immobile. I was walking forward and backward, sideways, holding onto the sides and pretending like I was riding a bicycle. Also holding something in front of me for resistance when I was walking.
We want them to build initial strength. We want them to gain initial range of motion. And there's a lot of confidence building there.
It's incredible because I didn't think I would be able to even walk. Learning how to walk here in the water first is a lot easier than learning how to walk out on land.
You'll learn about the variety of specialized therapy options available here in Lake County by visiting fhwaterman.com. This next story is for kids and the adults who love them. A Lake County expert wants to make sure children and adults are mindful of the amount of screen time they enjoy each day.
Screen time is defined as mostly play time on your computer, on your phone, or in front of your TV. But we're talking screen time as fun activities. So playing games on your telephone, or playing games on the TV, or watching TV. They're on their phones constantly. And the screen time interferes with other activities too. It interferes with sleep, for instance. Our teenagers, first of all, don't get 9 hours of sleep a day because they're so darn busy. But then they have their phones next to their bed and they're texting all night, and so they're just exhausted in the morning. And that goes into the realm of screen time too. We have an acronym for health behavior in children that we're trying to promote. It's easy to remember. It's called 9-5-2-1-0. And the 9 stands for 9 hours of sleep per night. The 5 is 5 servings of fruits and vegetables per day. The 2 is 2 hours or less of screen time per day. The 1 is 1 hour of exercise per day, and the 0 is no sugary drinks. We're trying to prevent obesity with exercise and diet. So 2, no more than 2 hours of screen time per day. Most kids have more than 2 hours of screen time, unfortunately, and that makes for a sedentary population. Of course, we talk about diet, exercise to prevent obesity and to prevent chronic disease. And one of my favorite sayings is, the best way to treat a disease is to prevent you from getting it. We want to teach our children now so that they learn preventative medicine so that they grow up to be healthy, active adults.
You can find a specialist to help your entire family with preventing chronic disease by visiting the website on your screen. Often, a nutritious diet is an important part of disease prevention. Caroline Rowland is in the Con Recreation Health Center kitchen, where the team has ideas to help stick to resolutions you may have about eating healthy.
If you're like many, the new year means motivation to losing weight after eating way too much over the holidays. Now, eating less is key to that success, of course, but we know that can be hard when we're feeling hungry all the time. Now, right now, we're joined with Florida Hospital Waterman's Executive Chef David Atkinson and Creation Health Director Candace Huber. And Candace, you have a recipe for us and some tips on how to achieve that success. What are we cooking today?
It's going to be wonderful. We have a beet carrot salad, which will answer many of these points that you brought out.
Yeah, it's a super simple salad. It's got fresh apples, beets, carrots, green onions, walnuts, dill and parsley, and then a simple dressing made with salt, pepper, lemon juice, and olive oil.
Thanks, Dave. Now, Candy, can you tell us a little bit about what are some of the health benefits of this salad?
Well, it's a wonderful salad. In addition to its being super simple salad, these fruits and vegetables are rich in vitamins A, vitamin C, which are a huge boost to the immune system, but also it is a very high fiber salad, which means, as we know, fiber helps us stay full.
Great, so Dave, how do we make this salad? About how much prep time did you put into this?
It takes about 15 minutes to get everything prepared. The hardest part is shredding the vegetables. We use the same little box grater for the beets, the apples, and the carrots. And then the rest of it's just getting it together and mixing it up and making a little dressing and putting it on the plate.
Great.
I'm just gonna mix everything together in the bowl.
Was there any special way you prepared those beets? Just cut them up?
I just put them on the grater and shredded them up by hand. You could use a food processor if you have a grater attachment for it. So we have all our vegetable ingredients. We're just gonna toss that together. For the dressing, it's just a little bit of lemon juice and salt and pepper. So we're just gonna mix that up till the salt dissolves. And then we have some extra virgin olive oil, and we're just gonna whisk that in. So we're just gonna add our dressing. Toss it up again. And then we're just gonna put that on a little bed of lettuce.
Looks delicious.
And that's it.
If you'd like the beet, carrot, and apple salad recipe, visit watermanwellness.com. We hope you've enjoyed this month's episode of Waterman Wellness, your pathway to healthy living with help from local experts. Be sure to watch for the next episode right here on Lake Sumter TV for some of the following stories. Doctors are relying on a simple test called a CT scan to help diagnose deadly lung cancer. A Tavares orthopedic surgeon will explain how a robot is helping his patients have better outcomes after joint replacement surgery. And find out about the premier physicians and most advanced cardiac procedures available at your local heart institute. To learn more about the experts featured in this program, please visit watermanwellness.com. Until next time, I'm Alyssa Horitzik for the award-winning Waterman Wellness.